sports fan, professional wrestling is show business, and show business is like no business I know in that it mostly revolves around stars. I guess also astrology and astronomy. But if wrestlers are supposed to look like stars, then somebody has to take the fall. That's why we have jobbers, or the more politically correct term, enhancement talent. But sometimes things go wrong. And when things go wrong in wrestling, somebody has to pay. And who do you think that is? Hey. Coco Beware. Bright colors, fun loving. I mean, the guy has a parrot, for God's sake. One of my favorites as a kid, for sure. Truthfully, Coco's a role model.
Really?
How could this have happened?
Memphis Wrestling, studio television, every Saturday morning. It's basically a kids show. We have Coco Beware versus
The Masked Patriot.
I want to know where the Masked Patriot was on January 6th. No reason. The match starts out pretty normally, despite the fact that Coco is wearing his underwear on the outside of his pants. Then, Masked Patriot makes the biggest mistake an enhancement talent can ever make. He tries to do something.
The Masked Patriot, first look at him, going against Coco Ware.
Immediately, Coco tees off on the back of Masked Patriot's neck.
And Coco kind of going at it. Woo!
Wait, before I show you what happens next, I do want to add that Coco did recently address this situation, and he said that the fans were really close to the ring, and he wanted to make it look real.
Boy, he is pounding and swinging. Good night.
Too real, Coco. Too real. Imagine you're on TV, you're wrestling the star. He backs you up into the ropes, says, "Watch the clothesline, brother." You hit the ropes, come back. "Hey, man, this is great. My mom's going to watch this. I'm finally somebody. Is my guidance counselor tuned in? Can someone tell them that I finally made something out of my life?" And then, bam! Clothesline to the throat. This clothesline in particular is especially special because it does make you forget your name and where you are. Masked Patriot is clearly knocked out, but Coco does try his best to wake him up.
You can't believe, just ripping the Masked Patriot apart.
By tossing a few more potatoes on that grill. My boy's making french fries out here.
Trying to hang on to the rope. Coco right there.
Music, eating international foods, having wine tours and tastings, vineyard tours, seminars, arts and crafts. It's a lot of fun, a whole day. Stop.
Perhaps sensing that Masked Patriot may be suffering from CTE, and end the match in the most sensible way possible, by busting his brain.
With the Patriot.
And in case you're wondering who won, Coco. Masked Patriot was successfully executed for his crimes of trying. But sometimes the misdeed is even more clear. 1993 Monday Night Raw, Tatanka is undefeated in WWF action. And who might be able to stop the Native American juggernaut?
Peter Weeks.
Hopefully the police are never counting on us to find Peter Weeks, because so far none of us can tell anyone what he looks like. But don't worry about the cops. My boy's gonna get punished either way. Peter Weeks does enter the danger zone for any jobber, which is trying to run the ropes. Risky business.
The King of the Ring tournament. It's the first ever King of the Ring on.
It's a little shaky, but he survives. Then Peter Weeks makes a classic training class mistake in which he tries to throw a clothesline that Tatanka is supposed to duck, but Peter Weeks is on the wrong side, which in turn Tatanka ducks, but then runs into him and looks like kind of an idiot.
Someone must be sacrificed for this.
One good turn deserves another.
And as you know, sports fan, I don't have to tell you, because Peter Weeks did make a minor mistake, Tatanka now does have the legal recourse, nay, the legal responsibility to hurt him as much as possible on public television.
I don't know. Like I said, D hit him, so it wasn't me.
What's D?
I want you to put each other in your hearts forever, because forever is about to happen here in just a few minutes.
D's nuts. This guy's crazy.
D what?
Huh? D's nuts. Harvey?
For anyone keeping a score sheet at home, Peter Weeks does not win. Everybody makes mistakes. But Rocky Gibbs makes maybe the ultimate mistake of trying to wrestle superstar Junkyard Dog not only long before Rocky should be in a wrestling ring, but light years before he should be on television.
That's a lot of meat for the dog.
And this match, I will note, did set the indoor record for red.
You got red on you.
Off to a start as Junkyard Dog forces a lockup that Rocky does not seem like he wants to engage in, and then JYD backs himself up to the corner, followed by a ferocious flurry of offense by Gibbs.
7 o'clock for the TV taping, and this is the one I wanted to tell him all about, Jim.
And Junkyard Dog can clearly already tell that this whole thing was a bad idea.
It would let you back to your alma mater or not.
Rocky Gibbs then apparently falls asleep.
On November 17th at Northeastern State University.
Rocky Gibbs is clearly way outside of his element, and JYD does have the law on his side if he decides to take matters into his own hands. Ever the gentleman, JYD delivers a tasteful headbutt.
39 pounds, JYD with a head whip.
And then forces a pin for real.
Goes Big Rocky King, Junkyard Dog.
Janet! Rooker!
Junkyard Dog is one wrestling superstar that decided to not put his opponent into traction, which is exactly what doesn't happen in this next clip. In the early 2000s, Perry Saturn was a WCW wrestler looking to get a strong foothold in the World Wrestling Federation. Mike Bell was a local talent that you may recognize from his brother's documentary, Bigger, Stronger, Faster. The match starts out typically until Mike Bell makes a series of mistakes. Or does he?
He doesn't.
He's squarely in the middle of the ring. Perry Saturn's timing is off.
Up for Mike Bell. Nice hip toss.
And then he doesn't regain his footing for the second one.
The hip toss up and over, and
I didn't do f***ing shit!
Saturn proceeds to have a one-person hockey fight against Mike Bell, and then goes to dump Mike Bell on the outside of the ring.
no one make Perry Saturn. Oh, man! Oh, right on his noggin.
I didn't f***ing do this!
It's unclear whether or not he has a concussion, so Perry Saturn decides to make sure.
Disarming Terry. Oh, my goodness.
Not satisfied with the number of teeth that Mike Bell currently possesses,
Here on metal. Oh, right.
Perry Saturn finishes the job and, for the record, does win.
You don't want to make Perry Saturn. Oh, man!
Some of the justification for the previous jobber beatdowns we've seen is a bit ambiguous. It's a little dubious. We could argue either way. This last one is very clear. Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey, early 90s WCW, and basically their gimmick is that they hurt people for real. But these two towering gentlemen would face their ultimate test of patience from
The Avalanche and Mike Blackwell.
I don't know, maybe Avalanche with his little outfit. Maybe just to be safe, on the safe side. This one doesn't leave any room for decorum as the big men begin the beatdown immediately. Avalanche is promptly thrown to the floor, but Mike Blackwell tries an interesting strategy.
The Avalanche throws through the ropes. Belly to belly on.
He doesn't pretend to be hurt.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
And then, adding injury to his lack of pretend injury, Mike Blackwell runs into Sid Vicious's clothesline so hard that Sid falls down on live TV.
Let me do this again.
Oh, it's live, pal.
Sorry.
Since Mike Blackwell won't sell for the pretend moves, they try to help him out with a few real ones.
To say the least.
But Mike Blackwell still will not stay down and pretend to be hurt. Oh yeah, Avalanche comes back in and then gets tossed out again. Sid Vicious and Dan Spivey came here to kick ass and have patience. And they're all out of bubble gum.
It figures it would be something like this.
Spivey kicks Mike Blackwell in the eyeball and holds him while Sid movie punches his ribs.
They're trying to hurt this guy.
Danny Spivey then puts icing on the cake by calling Mike Blackwell a f***er and then punches him in the ear for real as the TV feed cuts out. What have we learned from all this that we can take away and apply to our actual lives? The moral is, if you make a mistake, or even if you don't, but somebody thinks you might have, they get to punch you in the face for it. Speaking of making mistakes, do you like this show? Well, that's not, I said that's not the mistake. Well, maybe it's the mistake. If you do like it, share it. Otherwise,
I'll give him one of these, and I'll give him one of those, and one of these, and I'll give him one of those, and